Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're exploring a provocative idea discussed across philosophy, sociology, and history. Organized religion has sometimes functioned not only as a source of spiritual guidance but also as a powerful mechanism for shaping beliefs, behaviors, and social order. Thinkers like Karl Marx, Friedrich Nietzsche, and Michel Foucault, along with historical patterns of governance, have analyzed how religious institutions, governments, as well as the elites have intersected and aligned their sinister ideas to deliberately influence populations. We'll examine these arguments objectively, focusing on mechanisms like half-truths, authority structures, and early conditioning. This isn't about faith itself, but about observable patterns of influence. Let's dive in. Core thesis: religion as a tool of influence. Across centuries, various intellectuals have framed religion as more than personal belief. It can operate as a system that helps manage societies. Karl Marx famously described religion as the opium of the people in his critique of Hegel's philosophy of right. In full context, he called it the sigh of the oppressed creature, the heart of a heartless world, and the soul of soulless conditions. Marx viewed it as both an expression of real suffering under exploitative systems and a form of consolation that could reduce the drive for immediate material change by directing hopes toward an afterlife or divine justice. He saw it as part of the ideological superstructure that sustained class relations. This perspective suggests ruling classes and religious authorities could reinforce each other. Doctrines emphasizing obedience, humility, divine ordination of earthly hierarchies, like the divine right of kings, might discourage challenges to the status quo. Friedrich Nietzsche offered a different critique, portraying certain Christian values, pity, meekness, guilt, as tools that invert master morality, strength, nobility into slave morality, potentially weakening individual vitality and serving institutional power. He saw organized religion as fostering resentment and herd mentality rather than affirmative life forces. Michel Foucault analyzed pastoral power, a Christian model of guidance where a shepherd, authority figure, cares for, knows intimately, and directs the flock through confession, self-examination, and truth-telling. This individualized control, he argued, influenced modern governmentality, techniques of shaping subjects through knowledge, normalization, and internalized discipline, extending beyond churches into schools, bureaucracies, and states. These aren't fringe conspiracy claims but documented intellectual arguments about power dynamics. Historical examples abound: emperors and kings invoking gods or divine mandates for legitimacy, state religions under various regimes, alliances between thrones and altars that stabilized rule, half-truths, early conditioning and targeting classes. How might this work in practice? Proponents of these views point to several mechanisms. Number 1. Half-truths in doctrine and ritual. Teachings might blend profound ethical insights or genuine comfort with narratives that naturalize inequality, suffering as divine test, reward in the next life, or authority as God-ordained. These can channel moral instincts into approved outlets while framing questioning as moral failing or heresy. Number 2. Early and pervasive conditioning. Many societies integrate religious education from childhood, reinforced in family, community, and schooling. Rituals, symbols, and authority figures create emotional and habitual bonds. Subliminal or repetitive messaging through stories, hymns, calendars can embed worldviews deeply. Foucault highlighted how confessional practices train individuals to monitor and disclose their inner lives, aligning personal identity with institutional norms. This often targets or impacts middle and lower classes most intensely, where economic pressures are higher and alternative information scarcer. Narratives of patience, charity within the system, or piety as social mobility might encourage uncritical acceptance and reduce disruptive political energy, while elites sometimes maintain pragmatic distance or selective application. Governments and religious congregations have historically aligned or mutually reinforced narratives, state-backed churches, religious laws shaping civil life, or rulers co-opting clergy for legitimacy. Examples span divine right monarchies, certain empires using moralizing gods for hierarchy justification, and modern authoritarian management of religious life. Critics note this isn't always a grand conspiracy but an emergent alignment of interests. Here's the following. Stability for rulers, influence and protection for institutions, meaning for people. Yet the outcome can be populations socialized toward compliance. Importantly, these analyses aren't universal condemnations. Many acknowledge religion's role in community, ethics, charity, and resistance. Think liberation theology or faith-based social movements. Marx recognized its protest element against suffering. Historians document religion inspiring reform or challenging tyrants. Alternative perspectives emphasize voluntary faith, genuine spiritual experience, or religion as cultural glue, via Rousseau's ideas on civil religion for social cohesion. Not every religious person or leader participates in control, many operate sincerely at local levels. Power operates through many institutions, media, education, markets, not just religion. Empirical studies show complex patterns. Some societies with strong religious embedding correlate with certain governance styles, but causation is debated. Modern secular states still use non-religious ideologies for similar ends. The key intellectual takeaway: belief systems are powerful. When fused with authority and repeated from youth, they shape what people accept as natural. Empowerment, recognizing and navigating influence. Despite these dynamics, awareness offers agency. Many voices encourage deep, alternative research, primary texts, comparative history, philosophy, independent sources beyond mainstream narratives or TV. Learn to spot half-truths. Does a teaching comfort and empower critical thinking, or primarily pacify? Question authority structures. Search and compare reference doctrines with historical outcomes and personal ethics. Develop mental sovereignty. Separate spiritual or moral longings from institutional packaging. Study psychology of influence, cognitive biases, power and knowledge relations, from Foucault's viewpoint. Engage diverse traditions critically. Build habits of evidence-based reasoning. This isn't rejecting all tradition but governing one's own thoughts, discerning timeless wisdom from tools of social management. Right, bringing this all to an end, I'll leave you with this final statement. Religion, power, and society remain intertwined in complex ways. By examining arguments from Marx, Nietzsche, Foucault, and historical records objectively, we gain tools to understand influence without blanket rejection or naive acceptance. What are your thoughts? Share in the comments. Subscribe and like for more deep dives. Remember, seek the truth relentlessly. I'll see you in the next session. So if you liked what you saw and heard today about this informative topic matter, then smash that like button. Make sure to subscribe to Mind Blast Mechanics, where we dive deep into the observations that matter. We'll get back to you as soon as possible. If you have a question to be answered, don't miss our next video, so make sure to tap that bell. Thanks for watching.